come out to play.
Ladies and gentlemen, warriors all around, we are back here and we are counting down to the start of Universe Mode. But before we get into that, today we peel the curtain back slightly to show you how we are going to set up our Universe Mode. And if you are interested and can't wait for this video and want more, please do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we are on the road to the WWE 2k26 Universe Mode. Let's get into this. Now, despite the negative reviews and reactions to WWE 2k26 to start off the year, I'm still very excited for this game because of the new additions they added to Universe Mode. And one of the major additions they added to Universe Mode is the Universe Mode Wizard, with something that I've been begging for them to put in the game for quite some time. And it allows you to basically customize your Universe Mode before it actually starts. Instead of you starting Universe Mode, having to lose a week or edit the show while it's in progress, do everything, all that, you can now just start it from the beginning, like have you seen here, and you can go through all the different tools that it gives you. You even can able customize your referees. They give you alternate slots for alternate arenas within an arena, night and day arenas. Cool addition there. And like I said, the addition to add more referees, and they've included way more referees. And we're going to show you who I'm going to pick as you just follow along with me as we go through this setup. We've added our referees and got the show details of the first, of Raw. Let's go ahead and count out all these modern championship, as right now this is not our current setup in Universe Mode. We're still basing everything off of our last season in 2K25. We'll eventually get to a modern version of the WWE product you see today, but let's start to peel back the curtain right here and set up some of the things. You can see all the roster members here of the game, not in Universe Mode, but I'm going to give you some of the Universe Mode. We're basically just going to add in our universe currently set up. So I'm going to add in our current champions, our current roster members as of right now. There will be another draft to reorganize and reshape our Universe Mode, but we'll talk about that later on in this video. But right now we're going to give the champions some love and go over our champions. Currently, Roman Reigns, the head of the table, the tribal chief, is still the ruler of Raw and SmackDown, the undisputed champion here in our Universe Mode. Now, our current United States champion is the 16-time, seeking 17-time at SummerSlam. He will headline night 1 of SummerSlam against Seth Rollins as they will fight for the World Heavyweight Champion. And our United States champion is none other than the greatest of all time, John Cena. Now, I'm just going to let you follow along, and I'm going to talk about why I went ahead and started our Universe Mode kind of behind. The reason why I want for our 2024-2025 WWE setup for my Universe Mode is basically I want to take what had been going on at that time and basically get to where we are in the current WWE product, but in my vision, in my eyes. So how the bloodline crumbled, what caused it, how Cody Rhodes rose to power, and his next obstacle and his next problem he's going to have in this situation, building up other characters in my light, such as Tiffany Stratton, Braun Breaker, and all those that you see that are in WWE now that in my Universe Mode are still in NXT. I want to bring them up differently and repackage them in my vision. So that's why we started Universe Mode the way we did. But unfortunately, due to life circumstances and just life in general, we fell behind the 8 ball in that regard. We really wanted to really start from, like I said, a base of where WWE was at the time and build our own storylines and set up characters that are, top stars now. But I wanted to kind of, like I said, evolve them into the way that I saw fit and how I thought WWE should have went about it, or how I would go as a booker. But like I said, with my health scare, which we won't get into that, but those of you who do know, my health scare, new full-time job, and other things that are going on in my life, it was just kind of hard to stay on track. We are a year behind. little disappointed. Wanted to get this video out in a different way than I am doing it. Basically the same way, but I hope to have more momentum, more engagements, more of a community built by the time 2K26 came out. But unfortunately, we weren't able to get into that. But hey, we're here now. You're here now. You're tuning in. Hopefully you like it enough to hit the subscribe button if you aren't already. Like and comment and get engaged with me so we can build this community up. But yeah, I'm excited for this game. I'm excited to get into universe mode. But enough of that. I just wanted to kind of explain why my universe mode might seem outdated. And don't worry, it will be updated. And SummerSlam is going to signal one of the big changes as we get closer to an updated version of WWE 2k26, still in my vision. Now shifting gears here to the blue brand on SmackDown, as we're going to set up our champions to our current stage of champions. You see that beautiful belt, the undisputed WWE Championship, but that's not where we're at right now, because we are still with the Universal Championship held by one man, the ruler of all, Roman Reigns, your undisputed Universal Champion, and then your Intercontinental Champion, the one and only, the Ring General Gunther. Your SmackDown Women's Champion is Rhea Ripley, and still, like we talked about on the Raw side, your Women's Tag Team Champions occupied by Damage Control, and the SmackDown Tag Team Champions are Matt Riddle and Sami Zayn. But after Matt Riddle was packed up by Kevin Owens, who knows, maybe those titles are vacated. And now we're going to shift our focus to the NXT side, as we're going to see, I'm trying between those two arenas, which one I'm going to use, but we're going to go with that one for right now, see how it looks. Also might have different arena styles for SmackDown and Raw later on in the universe mode, so we'll be seeing that. Right now we're going to stick with the current setup and current Raw and SmackDown arenas. Let me know in the comment section below, do you want me to add the ring mats and all their logos that they have like they do in WWE, or just keep it to the generic one that they provide with 2K26? But here are some surprises. Obafemi coming to universe mode, Blake Monroe coming to universe mode. Now I know Obafemi, Kalani Jordan, Jada Parker, Hank and Tank will be coming universal. Tatum Paxley, those superstars were on last year's roster, but we didn't get to them yet. So we will for sure be getting to them here on this NXT or this universe mode setup sooner rather than later. So those are some surprises for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed that as we set up more of the current roster that we will be having for NXT. And like I said, there will be a draft coming, so you will see changes with these rosters soon. And after we get all of our shows created and set up, now we select them and take us to this other menu, which now has all your PLEs. I love this, but the only thing I would say that's negative is they're all stuck to the actual month that they would be in if you are going directly with WWE's scheduling, which I have no problem with that, because there's a workaround. We'll talk about that later, but that's the only thing I have. I wish you could just pick the PLEs and you could pick a start month. So like, for instance, we're in March, April. Literally April will be when SummerSlam comes out. That's our next pay-per-view. So I wanted to kind of replicate that in the schedule, so that way I'm on track with my scheduling, even though we're not on the same page with WWE scheduling, but just keep that kind of same framework. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. And the other weird thing that it did is I clicked SummerSlam, add that, and then when we go to the calendar, I picked SummerSlam, I picked NXT Stand and Deliver will be the next pay-per-view for NXT, and then Heatwave will be the other pay-per-view, or PLE, whatever you want to call it, when it comes toward the summer. And when we get to the calendar, they're nowhere to be found, and Heatwave's on like the weekday. I don't know what that was all about, but that was kind of weird, and it was a little quirky, but we had a workaround. Like I said, you can just delete that, go right into the calendar, and just add what you need starting off. Like again, we're going to start off with SummerSlam. So you just go into your calendar, you select the shows that you want for the PLE. SummerSlam, we got Raw and SmackDown, obviously. You go out there and say that, boom. I have it as a 2-night special. You can pick what days you want. Saturday and Sunday, it'll be a 2-night special. It probably won't air for me Saturday and Sunday, but we'll have it both days. Or maybe we'll do Saturday and Sunday, I don't know. Then you want up the other PLE for NXT, go in there and find Stand and Deliver, scroll up a couple times, and then boom, there it is. Once again, same thing. You get to pick how many participants, or no, I'm sorry, how many shows are involved, how many matches, and then you click in there. It is right there. Don't ignore that. I don't do a lot of matches. You know, King of Ring exception. Had to get that out, had to do it the way. But moving forward, probably won't do a lot of matches. PLE's probably 5 or 6, especially on a 2-night event. 5 one day, 5 another, or 6 one day, 6 another day, like SummerSlam, something like that. So that's kind of how I'm going to do matches. So don't, if you saw 8 or whatever, might have been up on the screen, don't worry about that. We will change. That's not going to be how I do my PLEs naturally. And now we're going to set up the last few things before we have created our universe mode. And the next thing is the draft. I will be doing a draft, like I said, to get to a more modernized version of WWE, what you see currently on WWE television, but also in my vision. But we're not going to do it as early as they have it set up there. It's too early. We're looking right now, potentially August. You look on this calendar. Well, let's not even go by the calendar. I'm thinking after, well, we got SummerSlam, NXT Stand Deliver, and then there's going to be a special secret PLE coming up, major storyline project. After that, then the 3rd month in, we're looking at potentially that is the you will see we'll have our draft. And I don't know exactly how many rounds I'm going to have and all that. So this stuff is just there. I'm showing it off for you. For those that may have not seen this, I know this game's been out a week already. 2 weeks for someone like me's had it early release. So I think this information is out there, but just in case somebody new stumbled along, they don't know, I just want you to get to look at the screen and see what the options they offer. They offer a ton of options. I'm going to use some of these options. We're going to use the cutscenes. We're going to use some of the elements that the draft provides, but we're not necessarily going to do it through Universe. We're going to do it how I've done it before in the past with my own graphics and all that. But last thing I want to say is that I'm so glad they brought back is once you got all your shows and everything going on, obviously I got to add more to the rosters, but we got everything set up. You can go ahead and import once again your tag teams from either a different save file for Universe mode or like I get it from my rosters, because while things in Universe mode aren't going away, I never use Universe mode for my Universe mode that I produce content for. I use elements. I use the calendar. I use this stuff to basically organize and shape up my universe. But this year, if everything works right, I might try and go through Universe mode, especially with a new broadcast mode. It seamlessly transitions into it, so I might use that element. But if not, like I said, the workaround for me is using Play Now. So that's why I make sure when I start my Universe mode, I go through the Play Now. I'm sorry, not Play Now. I go through the rosters through just the Expedition part, and I set that up, and then you can, like I said, import those tag teams over. So I like that. That's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, not to keep yapping, but that's pretty much gonna be it for this first video for 2K26. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you do, please hit that like button, share with others. Lots coming to the channel, lots coming to just this community, so make sure you are subscribing. You're here, bringing a Discord soon. Also, thanks to another Universe mode creator named IsJack, someone I've subscribed and followed the last few weeks. He has put the community on to someone else that made an awesome thing, and his name is Solo Reprise 2K. You can follow him on Twitter at Solo Reprise 2K, and basically he has created a website where you can able to keep track, organize, and they call it a Universe mode tracker. Basically, as you can see on the screen, anything you do in your Universe mode, you can then add here. If you're someone that has PC and you use PC to do your Universe mode, you can use those save files and import those save files from your computer onto his website. So I'm gonna be using this to update and to keep my Universe mode organized and updated for you and the audience. So if you want to know who my champions are, rivalries, and all that stuff, this is where you can find that. I don't have none of that set up right now. I'm barely starting the setup, but yeah, this is awesome. So shout out to those two. This is a great tool to have. I can't wait to use it. So yeah, like I said, I'm hoping to have the Discord and this live by Tuesday when the first episode of 2K Universe mode comes out. But if not, we'll wait maybe a week or whatever. But these are things that are coming soon. Also, other side content coming to the channel. So yeah, please, ladies and gentlemen, hit that subscribe button. Come along for the ride and be a part of the Undisputed Warrior community, because we got a fun time in store for you guys here tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've yapped enough for you. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, I will always be a warrior. You can't stop me now. Yeah, I will always be a warrior.